Florida family believes an officer who hit and killed their loved one should have lost his badge before the deadly crash. 62-year-old Blaine Land was crossing the street in May when Officer Timothy James crashed into him. Land died from his injuries. Officer James was responding to a robbery call. The incident was ruled an accident. When Land's family and their attorney began investigating this crash, they found the officer had nearly a dozen complaints against him. Omar Villafranca this morning looks at their search for justice.
Not having the answers, it absolutely does delay your grieving.
Stacy Land was heartbroken after her brother Blaine was struck and killed in May by an on-duty Jacksonville sheriff's officer responding to a call. Officer Timothy L. James was immediately put on administrative leave but never arrested. 1 month later, the same officer was arrested for allegedly beating a handcuffed teenager. James has pleaded not guilty to the beating. He has been reassigned to desk duty and stripped of his law enforcement powers. But the alleged beating may not be an isolated incident. A Jacksonville Sheriff's Office document shows that 11 complaints have been filed against Officer James since 2014. Charges include violating firearms policy and lying to supervisors. James received a 10-day suspension for the latter. In April, cell phone footage surfaced of what appears to be Officer Tim James spitting on a man outside a hospital. James has not responded to our request for an interview. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Department says Florida law protects officers' privacy.
We cannot identify an officer under investigation.
But Stacy Land wanted to know more. Her lawyer put in a public records request for more information on Officer James and the department's history. The sheriff's office sent an invoice totaling $314,687.91.
It was ridiculous. It's clearly meant to dissuade us from looking further.
The sheriff's office said the request was broad and included all of the materials in a 1,600 cubic foot room.
I'd also like to correct against some of that narrative that's out there that we have, been obstructionist and charged $300 grand for one officer's record when that's just not completely accurate.
Officer James is just one of 7 Jacksonville officers who have been arrested since January. Charges against the other officers include tampering with evidence and aggravated assault. Prosecutors have dropped charges in 41 cases that rely on testimony of recently arrested officers. As for Stacy Land, she says she wants justice for her brother.
My brother's death to me is the perfect storm of a broken department with messed up processes and people looking the other way, and an officer who should not be on the street.
For CBS This Morning, Omar Villafranca.
Into another case, O.J. Simpson